Howdy y'all, G-Wall here again, and today I am showing a very neat little piston elevator that it's really cool. It may break eventually, but it's still pretty fun to play with. And as you can see, if I can get in here, it's quite fast. All you gotta do is stand in here, you zip right up, and it actually uses what I believe to be translocation to shift you up. What it does is it pushes the piston, like this piston, there's a piston underneath here. It'll push you up here. This piston will come out, push you up here. It'll go inside of your feet and push you up on top of the piston, basically. And this was introduced in a recent, I believe it was the most recent update, because this has only worked ever since I updated yesterday. And I noticed that because I was building this thing. And this fantastic elevator, which was I was actually going to do a tutorial on, it's broken. I mean, you still, like, usually you would stand right here, press the button, you would go straight up. But because of this weird translocation thing, you end up on either one side or the other, which makes it super unreliable. This one you happen to usually end up on the left. But because you end up on the left, you don't really need the right side. So, I made this. And as I said, it works with translocation, but it doesn't work as Java translocation used to, and let me show you what I mean. In this form of translocation, you push the piston inside. Oops, forgot to take this out. You push the piston inside of the entity. It can be in the head or feet. But then, once you power that piston, it shifts them up. So it's kind of backwards from what Java used to be. But it still works. But the thing is, it doesn't always work for the player. As in, like, this setup here, it'll work for the player every time. This setup, however, where you would push the player up and then do it, it doesn't work. I don't know why. It works for everything else. Here, let me show you. Like, let's say it works for an armor stand, which, if you don't do that. Let me rebuild it real quick here. It works for an armor stand every time. But when you put a player in there, this is really strange. It doesn't work. It just pushes you all around, and I've even glitched. I've even come out and glitched over to here. So it's really weird. But this works 100% of the time. It hasn't failed on me yet. So instead of pushing it inside of the head of the mob, player, whatever, it pushes it inside of the feet, which means it takes a bit more resources and it's a tiny bit slower, but it's not a big deal. But anyway, forget about that rambling and such, let's get on with the tutorial. So let's just find a clean place. This looks like as good a spot as any. And all you need to do is put a sticky piston block, and then we can start building our infrastructure. So go up 2 blocks and back 2 blocks. Delete all these. Actually need to go back 1 more. Then you can put sticky piston. Let's see if that's correct. No, I was right before. It's sticky piston right there. So it is just up 2, back 2, and then place a sticky piston on top of it. Or if I could get my words correct, be sticky piston below it. Yeah, that's it. That's 100% it, I'm sure. Then you just sticky piston block, sticky piston block, sticky piston block, however high up you want to go. Let's just do a couple more for good measure. That's good enough. And let's just fill in these blocks underneath just so it's not ugly. Then regular piston block, regular piston block. You get the idea, it's just like every other piston elevator out there. Go all the way up to the top. Just like so. And then we need to place blocks all around this to make a sort of tube. So we'll go up with dark prismarine here all the way to the top. And on both sides. And then let me get some glass here. And you have to have glass on top, otherwise it'll push you off. Again, just like every other piston elevator. That I know of, anyway. And you gotta put it up like that. And that is most of your just general infrastructure done. Next, we'll go ahead and place in the button. Let me get some wool. I always use wool for my circuitry. It's so much easier than regular blocks. Come all the way back here. Redstone on top. And then now we'll start wiring up all the pistons and such. So let's change our wool color. Oh, let's go pink. And below every single section of pistons, you'll go down and to the right, and you'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Just like that. And you'll do that for every single one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Super simple, super easy, you know the thing. Then you'll want to, I guess we can go ahead and do our torch tower. Turns out I need to extend this one more, so it's 5 blocks here. Then let's change our wool color again. Let's do orange. And you'll want to put torch here, and you'll just start. No. This is wrong. This wool needs to go out 1 block even further. Redstone, so that's 6 blocks coming out. Go back to our orange wool. And then we can just start on a standard torch tower. Let's go ahead and put all of our wool here. Pillar up like this. And delete every other block to make a sort of zigzag pattern. And then you just want to put a redstone torch on all of these sides, being sure that these inside torches will turn off every single time. That's very important. And just all the way up the tower. Just like so. And then you need to put redstone on all of these blocks here. Leading into repeaters on 2 ticks, going into these sticky pistons. All the way up. And then you can go ahead and put 2 redstone, just like this. It's okay that it connects to the sticky piston, it doesn't matter. And then a repeater, 1 tick, going into these walls. That will power the regular piston once the sticky pistons are extended. So that is actually your going up circuit all the way done. So you can see that if we climb in here, we'll shoot straight up, just like that. Now, typically I like to have something push me off so that if I don't step off at the right moment, I won't, fall back down. So I prefer to have just a standard piston. You can use a sticky piston with a block on top of it, doesn't matter. And then just extend this torch tower. Not like that, because that powers it. Yeah, just extend this torch tower. To include this little deal. And I'd put a repeater in just for good measure so it doesn't extend too early. That can actually be a block. Just like that. Sometimes it does weird things like that when you're building it. There we go. So now when we shoot up, that should push us off. Yes. Perfect. Now we can fill that in just so it's not ugly. And if I had dark prismarine, I'd finish that up. But, so that is our going up circuit. But an elevator is 100% completely useless if you are up here, but then you have no way of getting down, except for jumping and falling to your death, which is not ideal. So to do that, we're going to use another button. Just like that. With a... Actually, let's just start over here and then we can connect it later. It's easier to do it that way. Let's do green. You need blocks underneath all of these sticky pistons. With redstone on top of them. And then come over 2 blocks all the way down and just pillar up. Then you'll want to place blocks on every other block right next to the redstone. And place ones across from those blocks just like this. And then delete every other block in this pillar without breaking your redstone. That helps. So let's just delete all of these. And you don't actually need all this. Again, without breaking your redstone. Let's just put this in because I'm lazy. Then you will want redstone on these as well. With repeater set to 3 ticks and 1 tick. 1, 2, 3, 1. And you could do 2, 2, but it doesn't really matter. 1, 3. Just make sure that it has 4 ticks going from this redstone to this redstone. That's all you need. 1, 2, 3. 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And 1 again. And I actually do need a block here with 1. Just like that. Then all you need to do is you need a slab. Where's my slabby jabbies? And you can connect this however you want. You can put your button wherever you want it. And now what we should see when we hit this button is a gradually move down, which we do not see because of reasons. This needs to be back. could I connect that? I don't know, I've never put the button here. Where did I put the button on this one? I don't know, I've only built this once, so I apologize for my ignorance. I did put it on the side there. Oh, yes, and I used a repeater. Okay. Button. And then repeater. And then I can just go up by a block like that. Yes, that should work. So now what we should see is that it gradually moves down and moves out of the way. So that way, when we are up here, we just hit this button, step out onto the piston. It's easier when you got walls in. Hit this button, step out onto the piston, and you get gradually lowered down. Let me put some walls up so I can demonstrate it the real way. You know, hit this button, and you just gradually get moved down without taking any fall damage. So that is the Bedrock Edition Translocation elevator. Fully working, fully speedy, you know, simple to build. And yeah, that's gonna do it for me, guys. I will see you in the next one.